Dear ladies and gentlemen, Martin Luther King once said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." As a member of the Kabylie League of Human Rights, I stand before you today with a heavy heart, compelled to shed light on a matter of utmost urgency and global importance. The relentless attack on Kabylia by the Algerian government have reached a critical and alarming level. The frequency and severity of these assaults against the Kabyle culture, environment, and the very integrity of the Kabyle people have escalated to a point where we can no longer turn a blind eye. Today, we must confront the harsh reality of genocide as the systematic destruction of Kabylia unfolds under the sinister banner of the project Zero Kabyle. This methodical genocidal offensive operates on multiple fronts, sparing no aspect of Kabyle life from its devastating impact. The use of fire, destructive force, has ruthlessly transformed 80% of the Kabyle's territory into an ecological catastrophe, presenting the horrific spectacle of human and animal remains charred beyond recognition. In the face of such distress, the lack of Canada intervention aggravate the tragedy, depriving the beleaguered population of the essential aid they desperately require. Adding to this distress is Algeria's stubborn refusal not only to rescue the Kabyles, but also to accept the assistance from neighboring countries. The callous attitude dismisses any semblance of goodwill on the part of the Algerian authorities. Once again, the pressing question arises: why has this happened? The answer, it seems, can only be sought in the halls of justice. The need for accountability and legal actions become paramount in the face of such blatant disregard for human life and the refusal to accept aid in a time of dire need. The Algerian genocide against the Kabyle people not only impacts the physical landscape, but also manifests in economic sabotage, effectively strangling the region and impeding its development. This vicious influence extends to the unjust imprisonment of innocent Kabyle youth who are detained without fair trials or proper investigation. Once behind bars, these individuals face the arbitrary cruelty of guards who shamelessly subject them to torture, violating their fundamental human rights. This brutality finds support through a corrupt justice system and a normative framework reminiscent of the darkest aspect of dictatorship. The legislation associated with this framework flagrantly violates international law and fundamental liberties, including the right to freedom, to association, worship, and expression. Through her stay in Algeria, spanning from November 25th to December 5th, 2023, Mrs. Mary Lawlord, the Special Rapporteur of the United Nations, expressed serious concerns regarding legal structures, governmental strategies, and advocated for better protection for human rights defenders in Algeria and Kabylia. The devastation of Kabylia is intensified by constraints on mobility, as illustrated by the plight of a Kabyle academic and researcher recognized as a whistleblower. this individual courageously exposed a significant ecological crime planned by Algerian authorities at the heart of Kabylia. Despite his courage, this committed expert now faces condemnation within Algeria and is under restrictions preventing him from leaving the Algerian territory. The environmental crime he brought to light is in fact a broad ecocide involving the exploitation of a zinc and lead mine over a span of 20 years, covering an extensive area of 30,889 acres. Such exploitation reveals catastrophic consequences for health of the Kabyle population and its environment. Neurodegenerative diseases, respiratory cancers, infertility, cardiovascular diseases are irreversible and irreversible fatal malformation are just a glimpse of the health horrors awaiting the Kabyle population. When it comes to the environment, air and water pollution by heavy metals will eventually lead to the destruction of the flora and fauna, endangering species that exist today only in Kabylia, forcing them into extinction. It will also result in the devastation of the largest underground water source in Africa. Yes, you heard well, the whole of North Africa and not only Algeria. The pollution will reach villages nearly 50 miles away and will extend even farther over time. The released radioactivity will, on the other hand, persist for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Algerian authorities speak of transforming the city of Gate, a Mediterranean jewel and the cradle of a once flourishing culture, into a dull mining town, to exploit and then to abandon. This illicit venture forces upon the community, against the explicit wishes of local population and environmental groups, marks the imminent downfall of Kabylia. The initiation of this exploitative project on territories classified under Ramsar underscores a blatant disregard for international agreements, serving as a stark symbol of disrespect for established international norms and commitments. Esteemed citizens of America, individuals who grasp the significance of freedom and the sacrifices made for its preservation, I call for your support in our pursuit of justice and the protection of fundamental human rights. In this context, I find it fitting to echo the profound words of the esteemed Martin Luther King. With patient and firm determination, we will press on until every valley of despair is exalted to new peaks of hope, until every mountain of pride and irrationality is made low by the leveling process of humility and compassion, until the rough places of injustice are transformed into a smooth plain of equality of opportunity, and until the crooked places of prejudice are transformed by the straightening process of bright-eyed wisdom. Dear brothers and sisters of Kabylia, esteemed citizens of America, we cannot remain passive in the presence of such heinous acts. It is imperative that we speak out, call for accountability, and champion international intervention to put an end to this genocide, the principles of justice, human rights, and the safeguarding of cultural and environmental legacies urge us to take a stand. Let us come together in solidarity with the Kabyle people, advocating for their right to live in tranquility, liberated from the shackles of oppression and devastation. Thank you. Tafat Ougafa, member of the Kabyle League of Human Rights.